Welcome. What's up, YouTube? Tavius Boone. Um, yeah, it's gonna be an interesting journey here. I decided to create a YouTube channel um, to document uh, the progress and process, if you will. 41 years old, and deciding to go into plumbing. Um, Now, my background is in sales. Never really done plumbing. I worked with my cousin out in California for a little bit at CJ's Router and Plumbing Services. And we did a lot of service lines, digging by hand, shovel. I liked it. It was different than what I was used to, being, at a desk and, 100% commission jobs. For the past 5 years, I was pretty successful at sales, very successful, I should say. When things ended abruptly, I won't go into the detail as far as, what transpired, but it had me thinking, with the AI stuff coming up, AI is going to be able to replace, sales agents, no problem, and they're cheaper. You don't have to have HR. You don't have a bunch of agents, full of testosterone, competitively challenging each other, So I see that. I see the sales market kind of going away. Everything's going to be digital eventually. It might not be now, but, in the future for sure. First and foremost, what inspired me to become a plumber was my cousin. He was a one-man show. One-man show. Service lines, tankless. I seen him do tankless. We shot fiberglass liners, complete drain repairs, our repipes, PEX repipes, service line, gas lines. Gas lines kind of, I was like, I always walked away when he started messing with gas. Like, it's one thing I don't know nothing about. And I'm not going to sit there and let you, blow me up. Like, it ain't going to happen. So, but I liked it, and he makes pretty good money, and I was just like, man, if I can get into a trade, maybe I can use some of my skills and, see what transpires. So I'm here in Boise, Idaho. That's where I'm located. And I'll tell you a little bit about the company. I won't mention their names, but I, went into an interview for a plumbing company, and I actually showed up 15 minutes late. Now, the reason being was, and it's an excuse, but I was actually in Sweet, Idaho with my father-in-law, and we were cutting down wood because he lives in Sweet, and he has a little trailer, and he has a stove oven that heats his house, so he needed wood. So anyway, we cut down 3 cords, and that next following morning, I was supposed to be there at an interview at 10 o'clock. Well, I showed up at 10:15, thinking I was 15 minutes early, but I was 15 minutes late. So I got walked out, and they just told me like this. It was like, well, hopefully you do good at your next interview if you come back, right? And it was for the next week, that following Wednesday. So I showed up early on time. And I'm expecting to talk to the same people that I talked to last time, and it wasn't the case. So, I'm sitting in this room, and, this dude comes in, and he's got spiky hair, youthful. Old man looks youthful. And a lady that was in marketing that I found out later. They walk in, and they start talking, and I tell them, oh man, I'm going to be an apprentice and this and that, and they start looking at my resume, and he was like, well, you came here for a drain technician, right? I'm like, no, like, I don't know. I know enough to be dangerous. I'm being brutally honest with this guy, and he was like, well, it looks like you have leadership skills. You're a director. You own companies. You all this stuff. He was like, man, I think I'm gonna put you as a drain technician. How does that sound? All right, whatever. I don't know what that is, but it sounds good. Sounds better than being just a general laborer or whatever I was going in for. I'm still an apprentice. You know what I mean? but I don't even know. I don't get it, but I'm gonna find out. Anyway, so the interview ended. Went back that following week and did all my paperwork and finalized everything. So I start tomorrow, and I really don't know what I'm getting myself into. It's a super, super big company. I think they're all over the United States. And from what I understand, there's a lot of opportunity. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos on what not to do as an apprentice coming into plumbing. And for the most part, just be happy, have a good attitude, and be teachable is what I'm learning, you know what I mean, and pay attention, stay off your phone, just the basic things that anybody that wants to be successful is going to do automatically. But the reason why I chose plumbing was because, in my situation right now, I have a family of 4, so it's me, 5, technically. Me, my wife, my 2 kids. One's 8 months, the other's 2 years and 7 months old, and then I have a 16-year-old. It's a basketball baller, if you will. And I'm supporting all of them with that income that's coming in when I start. So my wife's been taking care of everything for up to this last couple of months. Obviously, I was in California for a few months, working with my cousin in plumbing. That's where I kind of learned, and he kind of inspired me to keep going. So here I am. I'm 41 years old. I could work with the best of them. I have crazy work ethic, and I believe I'm an all right dude when it comes to character, as far as being able to get along with multiple people, managing floors and owning companies of 40 personalities plus. You kind of learn how to deal with certain people, and one thing I will say is that this is probably the biggest challenge that I've put myself into at this, age. I feel like the ego is always telling me, like, man, come on, you're gonna start from the bottom when you're great at sales. You can go get any sales job. You can succeed at anything you sell, right? And I know that. I think that's where my comfort zone's at. So, I wanted to really challenge myself, and not only challenge myself, but if I am half as good as I think I am, this could be something that can, set up my family's future, and then hopefully down the road, we open up a little drain cleaning service, and then, we could pass it on down to the kids, etc. That's the plan. So here in Idaho, I had to go and fill out a DOLP. I think that was the site that I went on to, and pay $50 for my apprenticeship. No exam, no nothing. I mean, I thought I was going to go through a test or something. Like, no, just pay $50, man. You get your apprentice. Oh, okay. So I guess this is certification, so I started with one. Anyway, there's a person there, the HR person there, that's pretty cool. Justin, which is, I think he's the CFO. He was the one that interviewed me. Pretty cool. He started from the bottom as well, and now he's, obviously moved way up. But I didn't get to how long he was there for, but the guy is very smart, knows a lot. So here I go. If you guys if there's any plumbers watching this, please give me some tips and tricks on what to do, what not to do. I know everybody has a life, and everybody's not gonna have good days, and I can handle all of that. But if there's anything that you guys can help me out with as I go through this journey, man, I appreciate it so much. But yeah, I start tomorrow, so I'll be documenting my ride to work. Kind of go over some thoughts, and how I want to make the first impression with a team of 40 people. I think they have about 20 to 30 people. Yeah, and just try to be the best that I can be. I will say that part of me is very hesitant. To be honest with you, I got a text message today from the HR lady asking me, "Hey, you're gonna show up tomorrow, right?" Because I think they can sense it. Like, I'm kind of, I should be doing sales for real. But like I said, man, sales are volatile. With the future looking dim with AI, I really want to find a trade that I can learn, and not only learn, but, be able to do things around the house, which I do now. But, it's probably the worst job you ever seen when it comes to plumbing. Like, I'm, duct tape and shit. It's just, yeah, that guy. Right, the guy you don't want to come help you out with a water heater. I'm that guy right now. So, looking forward to seeing what I can learn. I've always been a fast learner. I'm a visual learner, not an audible learner. So, hopefully that helps. And I will be going and taking some classes, I think, here once I get my bearings together and my feet under me here with this company. If it works out, I don't know, I'm going in being optimistic and just hoping for the best. So far, everybody seems very nice, even the plumbers, they seem nice. I haven't got with the install crew, but that's what I'm gonna be working with for the first 2 weeks. I'll be documenting that as well, just trying to do it in a way to where I'm not, infringing upon the company's trademark, so I got to do it, secretively without, capturing any other names and etc. So I got to try to keep that in mind. So there'll probably be a lot of edit videos, but nonetheless, here we are, 41 years old, starting a new career in plumbing, and I'm starting as an apprentice. So stay tuned with me, you guys, as we go through this. I'm excited, to actually be back at work. I've been self-employed for the last 2 years. And prior to that, I was director of operations at a DOT federal compliance company that took them from $250,000 a month to $1 million after I moved up to management. And then obviously management, they promoted me up to operations manager. So with that being said, I kind of understand business, and the business side I kind of got. I'm still trying to figure out what a drain technician is. I think all plumbers are drain technicians, but I don't know. But we'll find out tomorrow. I know they seem pretty happy to have me on. Obviously the HR is checking with me to see if I'm showing up tomorrow, which I talked to her. She texted me 2 days ago and was like, okay, this is the time. Can you make it? I said, yes. And now she's doubling back in with me to make sure that I'm coming. I don't know if because I'm black. I don't know if it's because maybe I was giving off those vibes. Like I wasn't really too interested. I don't know. A lot of things were running through my head at that interview. One of the things was like, I really can't believe I'm doing this right? I can't believe I'm starting all the way from the ground zero, and there's a lot of pressure and a lot of stress there, and obviously the $20 they're starting me at has to come with a lot of overtime. Otherwise, I got to exit stage left because, like I said, I got a family to feed. But if any of you guys were in the same position or similar position and made it through, man, please give me some insight, or some to-dos or not to-dos, whatever you want to call it, because I'm accepting everything as me reaching out to the masses and hopefully getting some good feedback, or bad, whichever, I'm open to both. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching the channel. Again, I'm an apprentice going into plumbing, 41 years old, kind of old. But I feel pretty young. Most people say when they look at me, I don't look like I'm 41. So you see the white hairs. But anyway, thank you guys. Love you guys. Wish you guys the best out there in the world of chaos right now. And stay safe. Keep your families close. And until tomorrow, we'll get to it.